Hey everyone, today's topic is tech meets marketing. I'm going to show you how you can continue to work during COVID-19 and help buyers and sellers. What we're going to do is combine all the tools that we have and show you how together they can really help you do so many tasks virtually as opposed to going out and putting yourself or sellers or buyers at risk. First of all, I want to make sure that everybody's on some sort of platform. LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, social media platforms that you can reach out to your clients and reach out and find new clients during the COVID-19 crisis. You want to make sure that you're comfortable using Zoom. Using Zoom is going to be a big part of this. You can use Zoom for business, doing seminars, seller seminars, talk about the inventory, how things are going to change over the next couple months, because things will be changing. Right now, we're coming from a seller's market, but within the next month or two, watch the market change. We're going to have inventory stay on the market, or we may actually have where sellers just don't put their houses on the market because they don't want people coming through. And that's where we come in to show them how they can do things virtually and keep their families safe, and they can still reach their goals, because there are sellers out there that have to sell. They're in a position where if they don't sell financially, they're going to be in dire straits. So right here are two links. There is a hard copy of this presentation that's going to be posted on Dashboard for you guys. The top link is from Bright MLS on explaining status to sellers. So that link is for the consumer. The bottom link is showing you how to set up your virtual tours on MLS. Things to keep in mind when you post things on social media, or if you're using Active Pipe and you're using to have your campaigns, please post items that are of interest that take into account the stressful time that we're in. There are people that actually want to buy, need to buy during this time. I don't think it's a good idea for you to put out there, now's the best time to buy, take advantage of the pandemic. That's in bad taste. But for some people, they need to buy right now because they're moving in from a different area. And there are going to be some properties out there that are going to be discounted. So that might be appealing to some people, but understand there are some risks involved. This is a nice article by a Business Insider. This might be something you might want to share to the public. But again, be conscious of what you're putting out there and be respectful to other people's feelings of what they're going through at this time. Here's another article on helping people that are in dire straits. Maybe they lost their jobs, they're hourly wage people, and they really need some help. So share information with your SOI and your community. Be the person that the public is going to for help. When this pandemic ends and things start to go back to the new normal, people will remember you by who you were during this crisis. So be the agent out there that's there to help. Be the person that was the leader in your community, that showed compassion, that gave information. This is another article by the Federal Housing Finance Agency. Again, just click on the link when you get to the PowerPoint on Dashboard, and you can find this, or you can just Google it. Don't forget to use Zoom for fun. Do happy hours, do virtual book clubs. I know our DC office is doing a cooking show where everybody's going to get their own ingredients and they're going to cook along with the chef. Don't hunker down and be by yourself. It's important to be out there, talk to people, even though it's virtually. You have a community, you can help somebody, they can help you. We're all going to need a lift now and then. So you be the person that initiates it. There's a link here on how to use Zoom. If you're not familiar with it, it's a 3-minute video. It'll teach you how to use it. Now I want to get into using some of the tools that we have within our company that are all free. You don't have to pay anything for it. They're available to you. That's going to help you grow your business. So when this pandemic ends and when we go back to the quote, the new normal, you are still in your business. People know that you're in real estate. People respect you for the time that you've put out there and the help that you have provided. We're going to go into cloud first, and I'm going to show you what you can do with cloud. I blocked out the names of my past clients because I don't think it's appropriate for me to put this out there. Use Homebeat. You go into regular cloud CMA, and Homebeat is over to the right there. Go ahead and click on that, and you can create a new report, which would be right here. And then you just fill out the report of who you want it to go to, the name, and all you need is an email, an address, the type of property. Many times when you just start typing an address in, it'll autofill, which is great. You can select the type of property, whether it's a townhouse or single family. You can click on the edit intro email and make it more personal if you'd like to. One little helpful hint, once you edit it and change it, when you go to do a next Homebeat, you make sure you go back to the original intro email. If not, you're going to be sending the next person the email that you just wrote out. So keep that in mind. Homebeat can go out monthly, quarterly, annually. It's really a great system. And the nice part about it, you can actually check how many times people have viewed the Homebeat report. This is what it looks like. I've used the Homebeat for sellers. I use the Homebeat for actually buyers right before they want to put an offer in, or when they're thinking about a house and they want to know where it ranks recently sold or pending sales. Another thing that you can do is go into your existing CMA reports and go to right here where you have these dots, and you click on that, then this pull down menu comes up and it says create a Homebeat, and you can actually just create it for the property. You already have their email, you already have their address in there, and sign them up for it, which is really great. Also, Cloud CMA has this other fabulous tool. If you click on your face on the corner here, and again, another drop-down menu comes down, hit lead generation. And what that does, that creates a landing page for you that you can click the link and post it anywhere you want. You can do it in an email, you can do it to your Facebook page. This way, if a consumer goes out to your site, they can look at it, they can plug their address in, and they can put their email address, and they'll get what we call a quick CMA. Now, what I like about Cloud CMA, Homebeat, and the Quick CMA, it doesn't give an AVM, which what Zillow does and some of the other sites, because those CMAs can be really way off, either too high or too low. What Cloud does, it gives the most recent sales and pendings that are around the area. This way, the seller can kind of see where their house fits in, and you're not giving a price that's either too high or too low. They're actually figuring it out themselves. They're not going to be right on target, but it gives them an idea. And then you're going to be the one, the expert, going in and giving the range of where it should be. This is me posting my landing page on my community Facebook page. So the next thing I want to do is go and Remine. Now, Remine is a great tool to get names and numbers and emails for you to prospect with and you to reach out and help people. Remine, you do a search very similar to how you would do it for Bright MLS, except their overlays are a little bit different. So first thing you're going to do is go to Remine and do the market status and see, we don't want any of the coming soon active. We don't want any of those because we're looking to prospect and get names and numbers. So you're going to go down at the bottom and hit off market. You can also hit expireds if you want to go after expireds. There's all these different other overlays that they have. So I'm going to show you, you can do ownership time, mortgage rate. Right here is a polygon, just like in Bright MLS when you want to do a search area in maps. So you can pick out an area that you want to go after. The mortgage age, I'm going to show you how that comes down. You just click on the mortgage age, which you get them from on this side, mortgage age, and it shows up. And then you can decide if you want to do this range, or for this result, I actually just did anybody that has started a mortgage 5 years or more. And that would make, maybe they might be in the position where they're interested in selling. I remember when I first got into real estate, everybody would tell me, oh, the average time people in the DMV was anywhere between 5 to 7 years. But actually, that has changed to more like 10 years because people are staying and aging in place in the DMV more. So you can see, according to NAR and NVAR, you're seeing more of an average of about 10 years. So that's where I got that information from. As you can see, so these are all the overlays that I picked. Right now it shows that I have 1,260 results. Be aware that there's so many different overlays. You can look here, you can go into, by scrolling down there, you can get absentee owners, you can do building type. There's a whole bunch. My suggestion is that you go and explore and see all the different filters because there's a lot of ways of you reaching out to people. One of the overlays I think that's pretty good is the interest rate of the homeowner's current mortgage. And you can see here, this is a history of interest rates that I put up together for you. As you can see, back in 2007 and 2008, we were around the 6%, started going down a little bit. So the search that you saw there, I did anything over 4.5%. So it's really gearing me to more 2011 and further back. But I also did the 5 years. So 5 years kind of brings me around to 2014, because there might be somebody that actually had a higher interest rate at that time. That was the only thing that was available to them. So you can play around with this. There's no right or wrong. It's just things that you want to think about how you want to search for prospective sellers. As you can see here, I did anything with a mortgage rate of 4.5%. So again, it gave me 1,200 potential sellers. You select all on that. So it gives you the list of everybody that it selected out of 1,260. But one thing you need to be aware of, out of those 1,260 people that met the criteria that I had, you're only going to get maybe about 20%, 25% return on those names and numbers that actually have an email or phone numbers. But that's still, if you do 1,200, that's still more names and numbers you had before you started. And again, this is free. You're not paying by email address. You're not paying by person. You're not paying for any of that stuff. You hit the click all, then you want to go to the list up here in the corner, and then it's going to give you what you see here. Then after that, you're going to go ahead and add it to your cart, and the cart's you're going to name it. So I call this my Zoom cart, and you're going to hit export, and then that's going to give you a list. Now I put these dots on it just to kind of cover around, but the general idea is that it's going to give you all these different numbers, and you can see where it says DNC, that says do not call. You honor the do not call list. And you can see there's a lot of blank spots there without phone numbers or email addresses. That's okay. All I did was then, this is all in an Excel spreadsheet. I just go through and delete all the blank spots. And now this is just a sample of, out of the 1,200, I probably had about 200 names that actually had numbers and so that I could use. So now I have these names and emails address, and now I'm going to go ahead and put them into Active Pipe if I want to, or I could go back and put them into Homebeat, sending information to them that way. It's an easy way to start prospecting and sharing pertinent information, what's going on. And one of the things about Homebeat that I like, you can select the articles to build your own campaign. So they don't have to be recipes, which I think now would be not so much of a great thing to send out. I think it might be better to send out information about what's going on. It might be best to build your campaign around helpful articles that people can use. Maybe it's about homeschooling, things that you could do to keep your kids busy while you're confined to your house. Or maybe it's about exercises that you can do at home, or they could be, where there's financial help, about the articles that I showed you earlier. There's a lot of different things that you can do, and Active Pipe allows you to look at a lot of different content to make sure that we give information that your SOI and the people you're sending out are going to find value to, and you're being respectful to what's going on in the world around us. Another thing I want to go into for some important information is use smart charts. Smart charts have two versions, the pro version and the free version. There are some jurisdictions that have the pro version included in their board dues, but most of our boards around here, it's an extra fee. I think it's about $200 a year. But this comes directly from the free version. I have a video in my YouTube channel that shows you how to use this. It's called Predicting the Market. So it'll show you a little bit more detailed on how to use smart charts. But this is a great visual that you can post on your Facebook page that people can look at, and what's going on in the marketplace. Not only what's going on right now, but compare it to the 5-year average. So as we start seeing the effect of the pandemic in the real estate market, they can start seeing, how does this really relate in the last 5 years? We just want to be able to compare this to not just last month or last year. What is it in relation to the last 5 years? All you do is do a screenshot of this and post it on your Facebook page, or put it on Instagram or LinkedIn, or wherever else you'd like to post something important like this. Now let's go into Bright. Like I said earlier, Smart Charts gives you the free version, which goes in by county. If you want to get a little bit more detailed and find out the stats, what's going on in a particular zip code or in a subdivision, or even by street, you can use Bright to do that. And so you would do your regular search. You can even do like a map search, and I'm not sure how familiar you guys were using map. You just go right up here, you click on map, and you can do a polygon and outline what you want. And this way I'm only getting that area. I'm not going to get into it too much in this video, but right here, this is something I would experiment with. This is called layers. You can click on this and it'll give you school districts. This is not anywhere related to what agents have put in. This is directly connected with the school board, and it shows you the boundary lines. So that's another good layer to use if you're interested in doing that. So after I've done my research, I get all my listings. Now I'm going to click all of them. So I have all my listings because I want to know what the market stats are doing in this particular area. The key of this is going into the print mode and selecting how I want it to print. So I'm going to hit print, and then in my options of printing, there's the price analysis report. This is where you're going to get average days on market. what the sellers paid in concession, what the average actual net price was. So this is what it looks like. This is a great tool for you to be able to do some research so you could speak to people and let them know that you are the expert in the area. And you can see these are the active listings that are right now, and it gives you the average and low and medium price, gives you from the original price, what's reductions has there been, the days on the market, then the total days on the market, and then the age of the property. Now down here, I'll give you the closed sales. These two properties didn't pay any concessions, but if there were concessions paid, they would be put there. And it gives you the percentage from your closed price minus the concessions equals the net price, and they give you a percentage. Then they take the same number. If there was a history of a price reduction, you can start see that, you can see the difference in that as well. And then again, at the bottom, it gives you the low, high, medium, and then the average. Then it breaks it down into the pendings, and then again into the under contracts. And then lastly, it goes into the coming soons. Another thing that Bright has out there that I think is really helpful, and this is a great thing to post and to share. And as we go further into this pandemic and we see how it affects our real estate market, there's a chart that they have that's going to be really helpful for us. You go under market research on the top, pull down menu, then you have industry watch. You click on that and you get this map here. You can either go over to this section here and pick your area, whether you want Virginia, Maryland, West Virginia, Delaware, all the places that Bright MLS serves. And then you can go by the quarter, whether you want first quarter, second quarter, third quarter. I'm going to go ahead and pick the state of Virginia. I'm going to do Fairfax County, and I'm going to go into, I think I picked the fourth quarter of 2019. And so it's giving me the stats for there. So one of the things that I think it's important for us to stay current on for when our first quarter ends, which is, it just did end of March, right? Those numbers are going to come out, and they usually come out by the first week in April, maybe by the second week. And we want to compare that quarter with the quarter of 2019 and see how it's going. And then when the second quarter comes in, we're going to want to compare that. So we get an idea of our highs and our lows. Are we trending downwards quite a bit? And this next chart, you'll see, this goes back 10 years. And I think this is extremely important for you guys to really know, because you can see here, the first quarter, they're always low. Second quarter gets a little higher. Third quarter is always at its peak. Fourth quarter goes down. And then the first quarter of the next year goes down. And why do we see this up and down movement? Is because real estate usually runs in cycles. When I do my busy time in the spring market, which everybody's really busy, those houses don't go to settlement until usually into the third quarter, at the end of the second or third quarter. So that's why we see these peaks of the pricing are right here. So we will be able to see at the end of the second and third quarter what kind of impact the pandemic has had with our real estate prices is by looking at a chart like this. So when we start seeing these numbers, where this is going to go, is this going to go down like this? And is it going to be even with 2016 prices, 2018 prices? Where are we going to go? Or is it just going to be flat and we're not going to have the peak? No one knows at this time, but this way you can start seeing it and reassure buyers and sellers what the market's doing, because you have the information. You're pinpointing the results to the county that you're in. Virtual consultations. I put together last week a YouTube video on how to do a buyer's consultations. I'm going to get ready to do a seller's consultations for you as well, but they're all the same. You're going to be using cloud, CMA. Do the CMA, there is a slideshow, and that's the one you want to hit, because that's now going to be more of a PowerPoint. It's not going to be a PDF. It's going to be much more conducive to doing a Zoom call consultation. So again, get comfortable with Zoom. It's free for up to 40 minutes. One of the things I want to stress for the buyers, you want to combine, and actually even for sellers as well, you want to combine the tools that we have to make house hunting or doing the CMA as seamless as possible. I had a buyer last week I was working with. I never showed him any properties. I put them on auto email. They would get listings. We would go through them via Zoom. They would drive by. I connected them with Homesnap. So when they drove by houses that weren't on the list, they were able to quickly use Homesnap, do the stealth, find out what the price was, find out that it was out of their price range or it didn't meet their criteria. And then we weeded the houses down one by one. And then what happened, we looked at 3 houses and they bought one. Using the tech tools that we have, you can keep everybody safe. They can go around in the safety of their own car, drive communities, look at the house, see if they like where it is, the commute to their work. We talk about it via Zoom, and then they bring it down to just a few houses, and then we go out and look at them. So again, auto email, big fan of it. I know some of the complaints that I've heard from agents that it's not personable. They know that it's just auto generated. It is auto generated. Don't sell it for something that it's not. I tell the buyers, look, I'm going to put you on this automatic email distribution. We're going to put in all the criteria that you want. It's going to automatically update you. You're going to get them if you want them just once a day. You want them twice a day. It's up to you. When you get them, I'm going to get them at the same time. We'll set up a Zoom call. We'll go through them together. You can drive by them and use the Homesnap, and we can get through this pandemic without anybody being exposed and you still reaching your goals. Because here's Homesnap. Please get comfortable. It's very easy to use. I know many of you use these tools by themselves and you say, yeah, they're okay. Combining these tools together makes them really unbeatable. It really works. Virtual tours. If you're a listing agent, you need to do a virtual tour for your house. If you're a buyer's agent and your buyers are uncomfortable with looking at houses and they've done their drive-bys, get permission from the listing agent to go out there and do FaceTime with your buyers and show them the house that way. So you limit the exposure from yourself, you limit the exposure to the community, to the buyers. The sellers need to sell, the buyers need to buy, and you're the one putting everything together to help people reach their goals. Virtual open houses. People need to sell their homes. You can't have 20 people coming through your open house. It's just unsafe to the homeowners. You don't want to put yourself in that position. Do a virtual open house. If you're a buyer's agent, ask the agent to go around and do a virtual tour for you, or see if you can go in there, do it yourself. Like I said earlier, do a FaceTime. Or if you're looking to post something on your Facebook page and you want people to remember, look, I'm still in business. I'm still out here. If you need me, find an agent in your office that's willing to let you market their home. Go to the house, do a tour, post it on your Facebook, or do a live feed and let people know that it's available. Just another tool in your toolbox. You don't need to meet your buyers in person to sign everything. Everything can be done DocuSign. Earnest Money, there's no reason to have a check. You don't want to drop it off at your office. Just wire transfer. There's no reason to deliver it. Keep everybody safe. Virtual inspections. Promoting this a little bit. I'm not endorsing this home inspector, but they're the first ones that I know of that are actually doing a webinar educating agents on how virtual home inspections work. This one's coming up April 9th from 11 to 11:30. I put the contact information here. Learn about it, whether your buyers actually want a virtual home inspection or not, but you need to be familiar with it, know what they entail, and the pros and cons of it. Closings, again, it's limited exposure. More than likely, most closing companies, they're not having the real estate agents attend closing. They're just having the principals there. Many of them are doing those separately. They actually can even do some of those virtual settlements. I know DC, Virginia, and Maryland all have electronic notaries now, so we can keep everybody safe and still get the closing done. So I hope you guys like this. I hope you found it helpful. I know I went fast, but the best thing I can tell you to do is go ahead and get on these programs, play around with them. Probably in the next 2 weeks or so, I'm going to be putting together mini trainings for each one of these, and I'll be sending them out to your office. And stay well and be safe.